Okay, so welcome back to the Alien Invasions game creation that we're doing here, found in the Python Crash Course 2nd edition by Eric Mathis. And in this lesson, we are going to do a little bit of refactoring here. So currently, we have in our Alien Invasion file, we have the init method, and then we have this run game method. And this run game method is going to start getting a little bit lengthy here. So before we start getting too lengthy, what we're going to do is kind of start to break this down. Again, we had a couple things happening. We're looking for keyboard events, and then we were updating the screen. And so two kind of tasks are happening within this one method. So we're going to create some helper methods. And these helper methods are going to be called inside of this run game method. And it's going to help us to simplify the run game method. So first thing we're going to do here is we are going to come down here, and we're going to come down and we're going to shift backspace a little bit here so that we're lined up here with this definition of run game. So we're going to create a new definition. So we're going to define our check events. Define check events self. Now, notice here, I put a single underscore. This is just a single underscore. Single underscores are usually used as a connotation as for a helper method. So I'm not going to call this check events with specific instances or anywhere in the game except within another method itself. So that's what that single underscore is indicating here. So check event self is going to respond to key presses and mouse events. And that's what its purpose is here. And really, we're going to take this and we're just going to pull this out of here. So Control X, and we're just going to come down here and Control V. So we just took that, what used to be called in run game to watch for keyboard, mouse, and events, and we defined it in its own method now. So now that we've defined this, we're going to need to call it. So while true, we're going to call the self check events. And there we go. So we went from multiple lines in this run game to just one. And here we go. Now, the second thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to define our second helper method, which we'll call define, and again, single update screen. And we'll put the self in there. And what this is going to do is it's going to update images on the screen and flip to the new screen. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to pull all of this and we're just going to throw that into here. And we're going to take this out as well. We'll throw it in here. So now that we have kind of simplified this a little bit, let's just get it nice and simple. While true, we're going to check for events, and then we're going to call the self.update screen. And so what that does is our run game is nice and simple, right? While true, we're going to check events, and then we're going to update the screen. And that's what we're doing here. And you can see, if you want to know what those functions do, you can just simply look in here under check events. It responds to key presses and mouse events. And this for loop here watches the keyboard and mouse events. That's what this is doing. And here's our update screen where we update the images on the screen and flip to the new screen. And that's broken down. Check this out. We got a little bit. This will align this a little better. There we go. But actually, yeah, this doesn't need to be tabbed. So good thing we checked that. Because again, all this is happening within the update screen right inside of our definition. So just make sure your tabbing and your indentation is looking good, or it's not going to run correctly. So our update screen has a nice clean indentation, as it should. And there we go. We have refactored, and we've gotten our code better organized and ready for our next step forward. So that's going to be piloting the ship, getting our ship to move around the screen, which is our next big step, and we'll see that in the next video. All right, take care.